Hello everyone, Professor Philip Travis here. This week I'll make this announcement a little bit short this week. We have our exam this week, our second exam. Remember, for the exam, you need to base the exam in the reading of the Kramer book and then connect the Kramer book, The Republic of Rock, to at least two other supplemental readings that we've had in this test section. So, and of course, if you can draw more than that, that's great. But we've had reading from Patterson on the Cold War. We've had a reading from May. We've had a reading from Beth Bailey. So I want to see you develop a test essay that creates a thesis that is built not only in a thorough reading of the Kramer book, but is also able to link at least two of those supplemental sources. And really, what I would almost certainly be looking for on this is to understand how the Cold War and then the Vietnam War really posed fundamental challenges to American notions of identity, of citizenship, of issues of race and class, of sexuality in American society. That's broadly speaking, but when we look at those readings and we put them all together, you're looking at the manner in which the Cold War and then the Vietnam War, as an outcropping of the Cold War, as a result of the Cold War, how those fundamentally changed American society, and ultimately changed American society in such a way that led to many of the sort of social grapplings during the sort of social revolutions, if you will, of the 1960s. The Kramer book, of course, The Republic of Rock, is really about how the counterculture movement was a movement that was really all about an attempt to understand and to redefine identity and citizenship within the United States. And of course, Kramer makes a connection, he draws a direct connection between the counterculture movement as it existed, particularly in San Francisco, and its relationship to the experience of American soldiers in the Vietnam War, where you see in the Kramer book, you see sort of groundbreaking festival concerts. You have the radio used as a vehicle for sort of transforming or trying to transform society as it relates to issues like labor, class, social issues. And then you see also during the Vietnam War, you'll see things like the development of underground GI radio programs that are broadcast on sort of undisclosed bandwidths, I think might be the right way to say it. You see touring Vietnamese counterculture rock bands in Vietnam. You see like you see on these images here, you see the image of the peace sign, anti-war sort of counterculture symbolism emerge in the Vietnam War in its later phases. This image is from 1971. This image is also in your book. And so you particularly see these developments as the war grinds on, and there develops this sort of connection between the counterculture's sort of effort to redefine American citizenship, redefine meaning of America, and you see that also then connect to the situation and experience for soldiers in Vietnam, who are increasingly allowed to consume, to listen to partake in the listening of counterculture music. And while you read this week, I really encourage you to, go to YouTube and listen to some of the music that the author is writing about. It's really important, I think, when you're reading a book that is talking not only about sort of the experiences and ideas of people and their agency, their efforts as agents in history, but I think it's also, you're talking about music, so I think it's also important to sort of like listen to the music from the age, because there's numerous sort of songs that are mentioned, that I think you should really stop and take a second to listen to those songs, to give a feeling for this period of time. So the test this week, of course, remember, please follow all of the guidelines, make a connection, develop your own thesis, and connect the Kramer book to at least 2 of those other supplemental readings. You might look at how the Cold War shaped American society in the 1950s, and you really see that, of course, in the May and Beth Bailey reading, and then sort of opens the door for the development of the counterculture movement in the 1960s that really, in reaction to that period of time, is seeking to fundamentally sort of redefine identity and really citizenship and the meaning of citizenship in the United States. So I hope you enjoy the book. I'm going to leave this now at this. You don't need to summarize anything this week. Focus on the test, and let me know if you have any questions about the test. And I'm looking forward to reading everyone's essays. So let's have a great week, and let me know if you have any questions.